Hi, everyone. It's Steven Schleicher from Majorspoilers.com, and I want to thank you for checking out this week's episode of Critical Hit. And I want to take a moment and I want to thank all of our patrons, because quite honestly, we wouldn't be able to do this show week after week, month after month, year after year, to the point where we have become one of the longest running, continuous real play podcasts out there. And we're so thankful to all of our patrons for making that happen. But we are at a point at Major Spoilers and Critical Hit where that may not be feasible anymore, because we need more of you, our fine listeners from all over the world, whether you're in Germany or Scandinavia or Australia or, yes, even Japan and China. We need more of you to join our growing group of awesome spoilerites at patreon.com/majorspoilers. And I know you're thinking, oh, I'll let the other person who's listening to the show take care of it. No, if everybody had that approach, then we wouldn't have any new patrons. And we need more of you to step up. I'm asking you to step up and join our group for just $5 a month. $5 a month at the silver level membership at patreon.com/majorspoilers gets you access to a bunch of stuff. You get behind the scenes on what's going on at Major Spoilers. You get this show a week early and commercial free. So if you don't like our commercials, well, then get on the Patreon at the silver level membership. Plus, you get access to secret channels on the Major Spoilers Discord server where you can go and talk about Critical Hit and other things. You can sign up at that silver level membership. $5 a month, just $5 a month. If we had 100, 200, 300, 1,000 of you, which there's more than 1,000 listeners to this show, if we had 1,000 of you sign up the silver level membership, we would be able to do so much more for you at Major Spoilers and the Major Spoilers Podcast Network and here at Critical Hit. But you want a little bit more? Okay, at the gold level, $10 a month, you get access to the Critical Hit character sheets. I'm rolling out the new character sheets right now on the Patreon page, patreon.com/majorspoilers. Right now, you can see what changes have been made to Doc and to Dutch, and in the coming weeks, Blisco and Valentino as well. You get access to our VIP live chat, where once a month I sit down with you and answer your questions about what's going on at Major Spoilers. And most importantly, you get access to the GM Roundtable. Now, what is the GM Roundtable? Some of you don't listen past the end. I talk about it every week, but the GM Roundtable in the past has been where we sit down and we tell you advice. We share advice with you on how to be a better game master at the table for you and your players. Currently, the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition is where I sit down with Dr. Bradley Will. You've heard him GM many games here on Critical Hit. And we talk about my plans for upcoming sessions. Like, I know where the team is going next. And so I'll sit down with Brad and I'll say, well, here's my plan and here's my thoughts and here's some things that I'm going to throw at the players. And Brad will share his, very knowledgeable reactions to this. Sometimes it gets a little heated. And so you really get an inside look at what's going on behind the scenes on this campaign. And you can take these lessons that I am learning as a newish GM, and you take the knowledge that Brad is sharing, and you can apply it to your own games. So just at the $10 a month, that weekly or bi-weekly, depending on when we have new episodes out, but generally weekly, they come out before new episodes of Critical Hit, you can get an inside look at what's going on in upcoming sessions. And of course, if you want your name as part of a Critical Hit game, that happens when you become an associate producer at patreon.com/majorspoilers. So we had a whole episode entitled The Great NATO. The Great NATO is one of our great patrons. He's been with us almost since the beginning. And we love the Great NATO so much that we made a character in the game based on him. So now is the time. Now is the perfect time for you to head to patreon.com/majorspoilers. Sign up just for $5 a month. $5 a month. In fact, we've got a deal. If you sign up for a whole year in advance, you get 2 months free. You pay for 10 months and you get 2 months free. That's quite a deal. So $5 a month keeps this show going, brings you more entertainment, and get you access to a bunch of other stuff. So if you can, take a moment, go to patreon.com/major spoilers and sign up for that silver level membership, just $5 a month. And I thank you so much in advance from the bottom of my heart. And of course, all the players appreciate it too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Critical hit Punch All Nazis takes place in the early days of World War II and combines high adventure with cosmic horror. All dates, locations, and historical events are thrown out the window in order to create a fun story. So don't put too much thought into historical inaccuracies. All accents are done poorly, but with love, and no disrespect is intended. Last time
on Critical Hit.
The Nazis have absconded with the thing we're looking for, and then there's kind of no point for us to be here.
If anyone's seen Madame Freitag or the children.
Right now, we are not doing super well.
And you enter into the Grand Display Gallery, and the Grand Display Gallery is a magnificent place where some of the best pieces of glass are on display. Of course, you are taken aback as soon as you enter the room because there's this glass dome at the top, and the light of the sun is coming in. The 2:00 sun is coming in, and of course, it's wintertime, so the sun is much lower on the sky than what you notice in the previous times that you were there. But the sun shines off on these beautiful pieces of glass. There's this swan sculpture with this exquisite curved neck that comes up, and there's this very large bear glass sculpture that is really large. It's like 3 feet tall, something like that. It is a very massive, heavy piece of glass. There's little ballerinas, very intricately done. And in the center of the Grand Display Gallery is a column, and atop that column is a red orb.
All right, I take it back. Italians are pretty smart.
Well,
I'd say run over and get it, but I got yelled at the last time. So.
No.
It's not the real one. It's a decoy.
Wait, which one is the real one?
Neither one of the ones we've seen so far, that one, the one that the Germans took, or the one that I bought, were the real one.
Rodrigo, you get to add another fortune to your fortune pile because Brad and I had a bet this week that you wouldn't remember that you had bought a red orb.
Ha! Eat that, Dr. Will.
No, he was the one that said,
"Oh, he was the one."
Remember, I'm like, I don't think so.
No. Dr. Will is the one who has a high opinion of us.
I see.
Steven's the one who has an accurate opinion of us.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't know us that well. All right,
That's true.
So yes, add one more fortune to your pile.
Nice.
So you should have, it looks like 2 fortune then right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Gets me back up to, because I spent one last game. Walk around out of the Grand Display Gallery and into the Great Hall and then around to this sort of V-shaped.
Sure. As you exit the room, you notice that in that northeast corner, there are 2 men dressed in black suits with black sunglasses, just kind of milling around like they're kind of watching the place. But they're standing around acting like they are looking at all the displays in that area. Okay. And you walk out and you go around and you get into a little hallway from the back entrance, and there's a picture of the founder on the wall. Mm-hmm. And other little signs and curiosity bits. One sign that you notice as you are going out of the Great Hall, a sign has recently been posted that says "Help Wanted."
Do I spot any further runes or etchings?
There are no runes or etchings on this side of the wall.
Okay. And I'm like over here-ish?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The north side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The wall does continue all the way upstairs, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Like to the east of where you're at is that stairwell. So like, you know how the stairwell goes up through that second level and creates that cavity above.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this does too. It just goes right up through the wall and continues up to that second floor. So through the floor and up.
Okay. I'll go to the second floor.
All right, you go up to the second floor. Everyone else follows you.
Yeah.
To your north, as you exit the stairs, is the administration offices. There are 2 entrances to the administration office. One is open, the other one is closed. And on the sign on the one that's open in the window, you see a little help wanted sign, inquire inside.
And we didn't establish none of us speak Italian, right?
Not fluently now.
No. Okay.
All right. I walk up to the wall and start walking around it and see if I spot anything.
The plasterers did a fantastic job. It's like seamless. It looks like it's just part of the hallway because it is in perfect alignment with the rest of the walls along the hallway. It's almost like you can't tell that there is a void space there. It just looks like wall. And there's pictures. There's 3 pictures on the wall currently. The 3 pictures are of the 3 previous curators of the Glass Museum.
What are their names?
The first one, he has very dark hair. His name is Mozinski. And then the one right next to him, so the Mozinski would be the one that just recently was the curator before the one that is the curator now that at least Rodrigo has met. And then next to that is a curly-haired gentleman. His name is Larry Strofsky. And then the very end, this is probably all the way back to like 1920. So this is a very early photograph. No, not 1920, probably 1910, something like that, of the first photographed curator of the museum, Curly Joski.
Does the red orb happen to show up in any of these portraits?
No, these are like regular portraits. This isn't like the founder painting that you saw in the curator's office or in the painting downstairs,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, these are just regular photographs.
So you said there are no visible etchings or anything like that?
No, nothing up here. Again, it just looks like hallway.
Okay. I'm gonna, assuming that nobody is looking at me except for the other guys, I'm gonna put my ear up against the wall and knock on it.
Okay, it sounds like a solid wall, but
Okay.
if you would roll me an insight plus, let's do insight plus, I guess observation, D1.
Yep.
One success, very good. When you put your ear up to the wall, you can tell that this is a very solid wall. It is a thick wall. It's not like, plasterboard and then on the other side is some lath and then through that is, empty space. It feels very solid. When you put your ear up to it, you can kind of hear a humming or a thrumming, like a really deep vibrating through this section of the wall.
I'll motion for whoever's right next to me to put their ear against the wall.
Okay.
Bug Eater puts his ear next to the wall, and he also hears boom, 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 boom.
Would I recognize it as anything?
Mechanical
Does it sound mechanical?
or electronic?
It is hard to tell. Why don't you do an insight plus engineering?
Yay.
And let's try a D1 on that.
13.
Wow, 2 successes. You get 1 momentum back.
We're back in it, boys.
It could be electrical, but your experience working with electrical engines, especially on the farm, this low hum sounds lower than what a 60 cycle or a 50 cycle hum would be. It's like way low register. And a good powered engine or something that would be running would have a higher whine to it. So it's not mechanical.
What is it?
Not anything electrical or mechanical, I don't think. It'd be too low. This is not my area.
Well, thank you for helping us eliminate your area. I'm gonna go back downstairs to the first floor.
Okay. You go back downstairs. There's a lot of people milling around. A lot of people are, looking around to see if they can spot where the dead bodies would have been earlier in the day. But the janitorial staff do an excellent job in this museum. And you know where all the blood was, but nobody else can see any sign of dead bodies or anything. So a lot of people are standing around in the Great Hall, and people are moving into the Grand Display Gallery because they figured that's where, if something were to be stolen, that's where it would have been stolen from. So a lot of looky-loo patrons to the museum today.
Right. I will go up to the wall, maybe get the others to stand around to block direct sight of what I'm doing.
Yeah. No one's really paying attention.
Yeah, I figured, but
Woom,
you'll
woom,
never know.
woom, 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 woom.
Okay, louder.
It's not much louder.
Okay, does I knock on this wall? Does it sound?
Also feels super solid.
Okay,
like not even cinder block. This feels like behind this Venetian plaster, there is probably several layers of solid brick.
Okay, there is one level left, so I'll go walk over to the boiler room or to basically this sort of hallway gallery that's by the boiler room.
Sure.
So I can, scope it out for a bit.
Okay. It doesn't appear to be any activity. There's regular patrons moving through. You hear one person going, "Oh, this glass is so beautiful. My eyes are so dazzled by the beauty."
Can we see the person, and do they look like a hotel clerk?
So where he
that's not what the hotel guide
that's not the hotel guide. No, this is a really short, kind of studious guy. He's got his hair like plastered down, but not in the cool way like Dutch does or Valentino. This guy's got it parted right in the middle, and it goes down on each side, and it is extra grease. And then he's got a high collar on his shirt. And he's got very, very, very thick glasses. He's relatively short, too. He's probably only about 5'3".
So where Dutch was knocking on the wall, was that where he's seen the sigils earlier?
No, the sigils were in the grand display gallery.
Yep. In that northeast corner.
Yeah.
Right where you saw the little ghost girl and where you saw the men in black.
Yep.
I see.
That tracks.
If I were to look that way, is there fellows in black there still?
I mean, they're still standing around. I don't know if they probably don't recognize you. So, I mean, if you wanted to go and look at the displays over in that corner, you probably could.
Okay. I do that and just kind of lean against the wall where he was seeing that. And...
Roll me a will plus resistance.
Okay.
This is a D2.
Well, it's not bad. You say resistance?
Yep. Or,
resilience?
Resilience. Sorry, resilience.
Okay.
I wrote down
resilience isn't super great, but let's see what happens. Hey, 2 successes.
Wow, nice. 2 successes. Yeah, you go over there and you can look at the pieces of glass. There's a very nice glass ballerina collection over here. The 2 men in black kind of look at you, and then they kind of look at each other, and then they kind of move out of the way. Like, if a regular patron were to walk over there, people would move out of your way so that you could see the exhibits. They kind of move down a few feet and start looking at, another crystal swan with a big, long, graceful neck. And you're kind of standing right there in that corner looking at the ballerina collection.
Okay. If I were like lean against the wall, does like put my hand against it or anything and just...
If you put your hand against it, you don't feel anything.
Okay. If I surreptitiously look at it, there doesn't seem to be any sort of...
You know now what to look for, and you can see these faint sigils etched in the corner all the way around, almost like a doorway, perhaps.
I see. All right, interesting. All right, well, I might go back down and see what the fellas are doing down by the boiler room.
Okay, Rodrigo has, in the meantime, made it into the boiler room and gone underneath the building.
Okay.
Crawl your way around to that area.
Yep, crawl over to that area. I had
So underneath there is a solid
it's just like a solid wall too.
that goes all the way around that area.
Look for sigils.
You don't see any sigils down here, but if you put your head to the wall, you can definitely hear whoa, 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 whoa,
Okay.
whoa, whoa.
Is it about the same as the other ones?
About the same as the other ones.
Okay, I'll try to knock and see if it's. I mean, it looks solid.
It is very solid. It's all brick, and it's not like a single width of a brick. You can at least tell that it's several bricks thick.
Okay, I'll make my way back.
Okay. There's a Dutch in a boiler room.
Well, I didn't find anything.
Hmm.
You can still hear it thrumming from the crawl space, but there doesn't seem to be any access.
Well,
Do you think that they have to come up from underneath or something?
Well, I was hoping that there was some sort of, I guess, mechanical hiding space of some
Mhm.
kind, and that it would be either on the roof or the basement, or not the roof, but the second floor or the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not getting on the roof to see if it's up there. I don't think that there's any hidden compartment as far as I can see. At least not a mundanely hidden compartment.
yeah, that's where I'm thinking too.
Why, did you see anything?
I was just looking at the wall you were looking at earlier. And my guess is that's how they'd get in or out there. But I think that takes a different sort of knowledge.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well,
So can anyone hear the noise through the wall?
I mean, if you put your head up to the wall, yeah.
Do you think that it might be worth seeing if I recognize anything? I'm racking my brain to think of anything that might exist in 1939 that might have some sort of... It's probably not ultrasound. Or
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah, you're going to hear the same sound.
But I don't have anything that would give me I'd be like, hey, do I have any special insights?
Let's
Does it
look
feel
and
like
see
a
if you
thing?
have any special skills. Boom, boom, boom.
I have a number of
You
skills.
can do insight plus.
I mean, I know some electronics.
Well,
I know
we've
Yeah,
already
but we already
ruled that
eliminated
out.
that.
sciencey thing.
there's.
I mean, you can
there's-
try sciencey stuff. I mean, you can do
thing.
insight plus academia.
I was wondering if medicine might buy us anything. I don't
No,
know.
you could do academia.
Okay.
Yeah, D2 though. Oh,
BD2 difficulty?
yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's just hurtful. Wait, what is our momentum right now?
One.
I don't see it.
One.
I
Yeah,
accidentally,
no,
when I
absolutely
cleared
not.
off that drawing, it cleared off everything.
I got a success.
Yeah, you put your head up to the wall and you hear whoom, 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 whoom. Makes your teeth itch. Like you should know something about this, but it's just out of your grasp, just out of reach.
Okay. Well, my next idea is to try and get a really good look at those runes and then see if we can run them by Antoine.
Okay. All right. Who's going to go up there?
I guess I will.
All right. Will plus resilience.
Okay.
D2.
I am going to use my Dauntless talent
Okay,
to buy
all right.
a free
Okay.
D20.
Okay.
And then you said it was will and resilience.
Yep.
2 successes.
Hey, 2 successes. Yeah, you're able to walk up to it and you can see these strange symbols. I think if you spend too much time, you're gonna have to be. How about you also need to roll me a stealth plus will?
Okay.
Yeah, stealth plus will, because you're standing right out there in the open with these men in black nearby. So you're not scared away, but now you need to nonchalantly see if you can pick up any of the symbols.
I'm going to spend.
Oh my, this is the most beautiful room in the gallery. Oh, it's so brilliant. The light coming in through the window up there is so in my eyes. Oh,
I have half a mind to push this guy into a stand and see if he can give me a distraction.
Do it.
all right. You would need to do that'd be a fighting, right? So that would be your agility and fighting.
Because I'm way better at fighting than I am at stealth.
All right. Do it agility and fighting.
Okay. Yeah. By 3 points. I'm still going to pick up that momentum.
Okay.
Or spend it.
You're going to use the momentum? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what this guy is.
3 successes.
All right. Let's
Oh,
do it.
dang.
I'm just going to do 3 successes. I'm just going to do I'm going to have to spend a threat here.
Oh, snap. This guy's
I
a
don't know,
judoka.
right? I know, right? No. What is that? Yeah, he had 2 successes to your 3 successes. No. You kind of bump into him and trip him at the same time. It's probably based on some shenanigans you guys did in boot camp in the showers or something. And he's like, oh my, oh, and he bang right into the giant 3-foot tall glass bear, and it goes falling down and crashing on to the floor. Everybody just stops and freezes and looks. The 2 men in black are like, you can see them reach into their vest pockets, into their jacket pockets. As everybody just looks, he goes, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I guess I need to get my prescription checked.
Yep. While that's all happening, I'll try to get down.
You are able to crib 5 or 6 of the runes very quickly, and kind of memorize them or jot them down onto a piece of paper.
All right.
Janitor, the curator comes in. Oh, again. This is twice in 3 days. And then you see the janitorial guy starting to wheel in, and all right, everyone, please, clear out. So everybody's going to have to clear out of the grand display gallery.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all I had. Like, on our way out, I'll be like, that's all I had for this. Valentino, did you actually touch the wall with the runes? And
I did. It
solid.
Seems solid enough, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we probably need some way of opening that.
You say that that the Germans, you don't think they got a real one, or the one that was on display was even a real one. You just going on a hunch there, or is there anything?
Well, so here's my rationale for it. So we now know that the fancy boys are Italy's version of the luminaries.
Correct.
A splinter group.
So they are, just like the other luminaries, it's their job to stand watch over this, except we've only encountered dead or soon-to-be dead luminaries so far. But these alive luminaries are clearly keeping watch over this. The Germans were here, and they stole that orb. And for some reason, those guys are still here instead of, I don't know, shooting at a biplane or something fun like that. So my guess is that every red orb that we've encountered is, for all intents and purposes, a herring.
I mean,
So
Makes sense.
I guess it is a hunch. I don't have hard proof of that, but if I just don't think that those guys would be hanging out here if the real orb was gone. And also, it's only been a day, but my guess is if we don't hurry up and find this orb, we're going to run into the Germans again when they realize that their orb either has teleported back here, and that's the real orb, or that their orb was a decoy.
and we're
Makes sense
pretty
to me.
sure that the luminaries here are probably more of a deficit than an asset.
So everybody seems to give them a very wide berth. I just don't.
Eh,
If they
Not really. They just kind of they notice them, but they don't like move out of their way.
okay, if we decide to make contact with them, they aren't on the up and up, or they have their own ideas of what should happen, then the jig is up, and we again, because this is their home turf, right? They can just keep us out of here using their own resources without any problems. So if we reach out to them, like their job is to guard this from like random people who want to steal it. So if we tell them we're trying to keep it safe from the Germans, they've literally already done that
True.
in one way or another. I mean, I have, since the security here is actually pretty good, I think maybe we should just leave it with them. But I don't think the brigadier is going to take kindly to that. And we are still somewhat dependent on the good graces of the British military. So
True enough.
we probably do need to get the orb. But if there's one place where I would be more or less okay with leaving it, is here in a museum where there seems to be a guard to it, and also hidden behind magic. Or, again, that allows it to teleport back to its stand magically. Of course, if the orb teleports, is it really the same orb? Or did the orb die and there's now a facsimile of it? I don't say that because Dutch doesn't get that deep into sci-fi. Also, I don't know that sci-fi regarding that kind of stuff has been written already.
Yes.
I feel like that's more of like a 50s, 60s sci-fi concept of like, is teleportation actually dying?
The man with the glasses gets up. Oh, I can't wait to get home and talk to my friend Roddenberry about all of this.
So, unless you guys want to do something else at the museum, I'm satisfied here. We need more information.
Yeah. Do we want to report what happened to
the
report
brigadier?
on what
Brigadier?
happened? Like,
To the brigadier?
yeah.
So I've reported so far everything that happened with the Germans and with the break-in.
Oh, okay.
But we're gonna call them again because we need to see if Antoine has found anything new regarding the local luminaries, and B, tell him about some of these runes and see if he knows anything.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, let's head back to our hotel, get in, and then hide under the covers for the people that toss our room daily don't get discouraged.
Oh no, no one's tossed your room at this hotel. Only at the other hotel.
Okay.
All right, so you make your way back across the island of Murano, and you get into the boat. There's a one boat that's sitting there that says "out of service," death in the family.
Mhm.
But there are other people that are willing to pick you up and ferry you back to the island of Venice, and you make your way back into your hotel and to your room. The maid service has been in and cleaned up, and you are in your room.
Okay.
It is 4:00 in the afternoon.
All right. Valentino, you want to make the call?
Yeah, I'll make a call.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, this is Valentino. How about you?
Oh, Valentino, it's me, Antoine. How are you?
Hey, Antoine. Doing all right.
It's so good to hear your voice.
Yes. Glad to hear yours. Yeah, we've been kind of checking out the museum here, and so got a few things we kind of need to pick some brains about.
Okay.
First, I heard that Dutch had you checking in on the local luminaries.
Yes, we did find, it was a little bit of digging, it appears to be just a social organization. At least that's how they portray themselves in the newspapers and in the business section of that portion of Italy. They don't see any founding date in our records, so they could be part of the original luminaries, but I'll be honest, it feels kind of like everything that I've seen, like it's a scheme where they just want to take people's money for the promise of esoteric knowledge.
I see. Well, they definitely
They don't seem to be too on the level from their literature, but I'm sure they're able to sucker some people in.
Yeah, I assume so. Well,
if they are the luminaries, though, do be careful. The other luminaries that you have mentioned seem to be lost sects, or in the case of the man in the library or the bookstore owner, it seems to be on their last legs in other places. So it's interesting that this area has seemed to secure its legacy, so to speak.
Huh. All right. Good to know. The other thing we are needing to find out about, we think there may be something that we need to get into, but the only thing that looks like a potential entrance seems to be a solid wall, except for some runes.
Oh, what do they look like? Can you describe them?
Yeah,
I'll show him my sketches.
All right, Brian, tell me what you see.
Well, this one kind of looks like an A with a stem down the middle underneath the cross. With some,
you can hear him snapping a finger at somebody.
This one, something like a cross with a dot in the middle with a crook at the bottom end.
Okay.
Here's one that's kind of like the letter F, except slanted, kind of to the top left to bottom right for the main stem, and the middle stem is a squiggle, and there's a dot on the top right of the top stem.
Okay. Let's see. I'm looking through this book here. It is some kind of a ritualistic magic. It's like a ward of protection, or to like a keep away kind of perhaps spell.
Interesting. Definitely felt like there is some kind of resistance whenever we tried to check it out.
Any other symbols?
Yeah, I mean, I'll describe any of them that he drew down.
Okay. There's at least two more. There's got to be at least two more.
I really thought it was going to be like, yeah, this looks like it's like a B, but it has a little opening in the back, and the circles, like the B bumps, look really sharp. And there's one that's like 3 half circles, but progressively smaller from top to bottom.
Oh.
And then there's one that's a rectangle, and half of it is fill in, and it says 50%.
Huh. Well, I don't know about the last one, but it sounds like there's also some kind of a locking mechanism in that spell.
Yeah. Any insight on how we'd unlock it?
Oh, you don't have any practitioners with you, do you?
No, I'm afraid we don't.
And you hear that. Oh, let me have that. Who is this?
This is Valentino, sir.
Oh, this is the brigadier. What is going on?
We're trying to see if we can perhaps figure out how to get into what seems like some sort of room in the museum that is sealed with runes, it looks like.
Have you considered just blowing it up?
Not as of yet, but I feel like our best opportunity to do that would be when they're doing a fireworks display here, and I think we're still a few days off from that, I believe.
Like a week, yeah.
Yeah, like a week. So if we want to do it with any kind of deniability or, getting away from it, that would probably be our best bet.
Well, please hurry up as quickly as you can, because time is short, and we don't need these damn Nazis getting their hands on any more of these artifacts. Agreed.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out the most covert way we can go about this.
Well, time is short. It's been a week since you've left Egypt. We need to be moving on. So please wrap this up quickly.
Fair enough.
All right, goodbye. And he hangs up on you.
Well, Anton suggests that we need some kind of practitioner.
I don't know where we're going to get that, but we do have a meeting with the Resistance tonight. So maybe they have somebody that knows something about this. There's also a chance that because also, why would they want us to take an Italian artifact out of Italy? I mean,
That's
aside
fair.
from all the fascists. I guess we could play that angle.
Yeah, so the fascists don't get a hold of anything dangerous.
How many you feel like should go on that particular excursion?
Unless anybody has something else they want to do, I don't see why all four of us wouldn't go. They've already met two of you.
Yeah.
Besides me, so we might as well go. And honestly, I was planning on just putting cards on the table and telling them kind of exactly what we're doing, unless we meet them and we get a vibe like they're cops or something. But
Fair.
I've already talked to Andretti a couple times, and my gendarme sense didn't go off.
Fair enough. Yeah, just didn't want to spook them, showing up with the crowd.
Yeah, well, like I said, they've already met two
Three of us.
others besides me, so showing up with a fourth. That fourth is gonna have they met Doc? Yeah.
They met Doc. They haven't met.
They
haven't met
Bug
Bug
Eater.
Hi.
They're gonna love him.
Fair enough.
Because I'm pretty sure this guy can drink.
So the day passes and it starts to get into night, and as the temperature drops, the water still is relatively warm, and so now a thick fog is starting to encompass the area. You make your way from the hotel to the plaza, the Venice Plaza, and it's relatively deserted. There are some people still out and about. A couple of restaurants are still open, but all of the tourist shops are closed. There are some lamps that are lit in the square, and underneath one of the lamps, you see an old man, and it looks like he's drawing a picture on the sidewalk with chalk.
I will slowly approach.
Oh, hello. And you can see he's drawing this beautiful landscape. It's a daytime of the plaza, and he takes a piece of chalk and he is drawing a bird up in the air, and he makes a little check. As you do when you're trying to draw the birds.
Mm-hmm.
He draws a little check, and then he looks at you. You want to try? And he is holding the piece of chalk up to you.
Sure, thanks. So, yeah, he will try to draw a little bit of the sort of like the stonework on the ground, and then he will also put a check mark in one of the stones and be like, this one's cracked.
Oh, yeah, I see. And he kind of stands up, and he's got a little cane, and he's kind of gives you the finger like, oh, please follow me.
I'll motion for everybody to follow.
And he leads you down an alley off of the plaza, and it's very silent, and it's a very tiny alley. There's a lot of debris as you're going down this alley, like wooden crates, barrels that have been cracked open and discarded, refuse from the buildings scatter the alley, and all the way down at the end of the alley are two very big, muscular men, and they're standing at a doorway that's illuminated by an incandescent light. Who sent you?
We talked to Andretti earlier.
Andretti?
Mhm.
Over on Murano?
Mhm.
The two men kind of look at each other. One of them kind of rubs his chin. And the other one's like, come on, it's Andretti. All right. And he opens the door and ushers you in. This is a very tight space. There is, it's an old building, right? Obviously, you're on Venice, a lot of buildings up on pylons and stuff over the canals. And there's a set of wooden stairs that go up and up and up, about 3 stories into something at the top of the stairs.
Go up the stairs.
Yep. You go up the stairs, you reach a door. It's barred.
I'll knock.
Who is it?
I'm Dutch.
Who sent you?
Andretti. Over in Murano.
Andretti.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey. You hear some locks being unlocked. And a door opens and there's a man, another burly man that's kind of standing there. Come in. Quickly. Anyone follow you?
I don't think so.
Good. This is a kind of a loft area like you might find on top of a small tower, or a storage area that you might find in a barn. Apparently, in older buildings, they would move a lot of their storage stuff upstairs because the downstairs would either get too wet, or in this case, there's no basement. It's full of water. There are probably about 4 or 5 people doing various things. One person looks to be oiling some kind of a machine. Another person is checking guns. Another person is looking out a window at the square in the area below. Another person is scribbling on a piece of paper at the table in the center of the room. It's a very dusty, musty kind of smell in this room. But they all kind of look up as the 4 of you enter.
I'll give him a wave.
A man strides forward. He's probably taller than all of you. He has long hair, dark, pulled back into a ponytail. Very dark skin, and he approaches you. Hello. My name is Marshall Nesbitt. You have found the resistance.
Extend a hand out. Dutch.
Dutch. Andretti has told me so many things about you.
These are Valentino, Bog Eater,
Yes.
and Doc.
Do you eat bugs?
Nickname from back home.
I see. My nickname back home is Marshall.
That's a good one.
Yes, it is.
So,
What can we do for you, and what can you do for us?
all right. So, we actually represent a not on the books operation by the British military.
Oh, you're with the British military.
And our mission is to try to keep several culturally significant and potentially dangerous artifacts out of Nazi hands. Did you hear about what?
My mission is to stop the fascists at all costs.
Then I think our missions align in most ways anyway. Did you hear about what happened at the museum in Murano?
Oh, I heard about the murder. It's a terrible, terrible thing. And he crosses himself.
We I suppose we suspect, but we're pretty much certain that a Nazi operative was the cause for that. They were
That's
trying
very
to,
concerning.
yeah, they were trying to remove an artifact from there, but we have reason to believe that they took a decoy, and the real artifact may still be concealed somewhere in that museum.
Mm-hmm. I see. And you need to find this artifact.
We need to find that artifact and take it somewhere else where the Nazis can't get it.
Mm-hmm. And how might you do that?
Well, we're pretty sure it's somewhere in the museum, or at least that there's some sort of hidden room in the museum.
Oh, a hidden room. Marshall did
So-
not know this, and he looks at the man sitting at the table writing. The man looks up at him and goes, "I'm sorry, sir." Yes, well, do not let it happen again. I won't, sir.
It's all right. We have an unusual methodology that sometimes unearths things that other people have missed.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, we are also interested in the island of Murano right now. There's a boat unloading cargo. Lots of cargo. And we suspect that cargo is weapons. Weapons that the fascist government plans to use against Greece in the coming weeks.
That's not good.
I see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen the boat.
You have seen the boat? Yes. You can see it from here. And walks you over to the window where a guy in a big wool turtleneck sweater is standing. He's got a little knit cap on, and he's got a submachine gun that he's holding. He's a big burly guy. And you guys can look out, and sure enough, you can kind of see through the fog. It's a low fog. You can see across the bay to the island of Murano, and sure enough, there is a big boat over there. And it's getting kind of late. They're probably not unloading right now, but that is definitely the boat that Bug Eater and Valentino saw earlier in the day.
Yep. It's definitely the one we were looking at earlier. Seemed to be plenty of police around there.
Yes, of course. The fascists and the police are one and the same here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We would love to destroy that warehouse and that boat, but we have a bigger problem.
Okay.
The police have some kind of a demon dog.
Mm.
It's killed many of our men.
Yeah, we've seen
many of our men. 5 in the last month. 5 very good fighters of freedom. But
we caught a glimpse of one of those dogs a few days ago.
Oh, you did. You are alive. Oh, you must be very good at what you do. I, Marshall, am also good at what I do.
Oh, sound like it.
Yes. So, seems like we have some problems and we may have some solutions for you.
Okay.
Perhaps you get rid of this demon dog for us. And it won't be a problem when we blow up that warehouse, which could cause a great distraction for you as you get what you need from the glass museum.
I'll look back at the others. Like, you guys up for tackling a demon dog situation?
Sounds like at least some sort of straightforward solution, so we can try it.
Yeah, something to throw things at instead of what we've been doing.
Sure.
I think
Okay.
we're up to it.
We'll start looking into the dog situation.
Yes, and we can provide you with whatever you need, because it's clear you did not come here with any weapons that could do damage to the dog.
No, and we've been spending most of our resources keeping Andretti hydrated, so...
Oh, that Andretti. Listen, over there is our weapons master. You tell him what you might need, and he can try to procure it for you.
Great, thank you.
Yes. And I will sit here and think of a great plan to bring the demon dog to us.
Excellent.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Go talk to the weapons master.
Hello?
Hey, you wouldn't happen to have any of those big zappy lightning guns, would you?
Are you talking about the one that the Nazis use?
Yeah, is
The Foe Seeker?
that what it's called?
That's what we call it. And he reaches behind him and flips open a canvas, piece of canvas, and he turns around and he is holding a Foe Seeker rifle.
Does this look like the ones we've seen in the past?
Boy.
It definitely does.
Oh, look, Bug Eater, they have one in your size.
There is the information that you need on the Foe Seeker rifle.
Rifles. Extreme. Damage is 7. Ooh.
Yeah, 7 dice. And then I looked up a little bit more on piercing. You get one piercing for every effect that you roll. So while it says piercing 1, if you roll 3 effects, then you would get 3 piercing on as part of that.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's better than we'd been
This is the only one that we have. Unfortunately, we've noticed that the what we're calling the demon dog, it's the demon dog. Yes, sir. We noticed that it tends to not get injured, or if it is getting injured, it's healing itself very quickly. It seems to have some kind of magical properties about it. But you know what I say? If you can shoot it, you can kill it.
That actually has been our experience as well.
No. And we shall get along fine. Here, maybe this one will help. And he hands you a Lee Enfield rifle.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
So there's only one. There's only one of each of these.
And if nothing else, maybe we can take out the handlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay with me keeping the rifle?
Sounds fine to me.
Bug Eater's already checking out the other thing and has completely checked out of any other conversation that's not about his new toy.
Yeah.
It's probably not as powerful as the other two, but you hear a and he pulls out a Winchester shotgun. If this thing gets close to you, this is what you should use. Is a close range or close quarters weapon for whoever wants that one.
I think I'll take the shotgun. This sounds like my...
Yeah, go for it.
The shotgun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, unfortunately, we are running low on some of our supplies. I don't know why Marshall wants to blow up the weapons warehouse when we could use a lot of that for our fight. But here are a few grenades that we have. This might be useful to you as well. And he gives each of you one pineapple grenade.
Ooh.
I think that's all that I could probably provide you with now. If you have a list of other things you might need, please let me know.
You wouldn't have anything in the area of, say, a first aid kit, would you?
I wish. Weapons are my thing, not healing.
What about, for lack of a better term, armor?
Yeah, body armor.
I wish, friend.
Working with the government does help out some.
Yeah.
Yeah. The main thing we have going for us here, at least as far as the Nazis are concerned, is that neither one of us is on our home turf. Yeah. So it's nice to at least have made contact with one of the two teams here.
At that moment, you hear somebody running up the stairs and pounding on the door. Pound, 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 pound. The big burly guy who opened the door for you before kind of cracks the door. Who is it? Oh. And he opens the door and a woman comes rushing in. She's got a scarf thrown over her head And she's running in completely out of breath. The big burly guy closes and locks the door behind. Where's Marshall? Where's the Marshal at? Oh, Marshall. Yes, what is it? I have bad news. The demon dog. We've discovered its weakness. How can that be bad news? Its weakness, we have to cut off its source of magic. Oh, that is not good. You see, and he turns to the group of you. In this world, there is magic.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
You may have heard of the Houdini, or you may have heard of the Great NATO.
Ooh,
they are mere charlatans compared to the real magic that is out there. I, Marshall, have seen this myself.
We've seen a bit as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'll just point at Doc.
you're a magician.
Nope. This is why he's like this.
Yes, magic is very deadly. I'm going to have to ponder on this a little while.
Well, do we know what that source is?
Magic? Oh,
Well, the
it can come
source
from
of
many
the,
places.
I mean, specifically for the dog.
Oh no, I'm afraid that I don't, I just know that it has a magical connection, and if we can sever that magical connection, then you should be able to hurt it.
Okay. All right.
Yes, you did very good, Sarah. Oh, thank you. Now, please, go. Get something to drink. You look very peaked. And she goes off into the corner, and somebody brings her a glass of water, some cheese. I tell you what, gentlemen. I need to think about this a little bit more. I will contact somebody that I may know. See if we can maybe figure out how we can take down this dog together.
Okay. If this person has occult experience.
Oh, yes, I should go and find someone that also has occult experience.
Yeah.
Good idea. I can tell you're the smart one of the group. And he kind of gives you a little smack on the face.
Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We are going to be great friends. He puts his arm around you.
Yay.
Break out the wine. Tonight we drink. And you hear a lot of, and from around a corner comes Andretti, and he's carrying a couple of bottles of wine.
Andretti.
Glasses. Oh, hello. You guys all enjoy lots and lots of wine. Critical Hit Punch All Nazis is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment and was produced and edited by me, Stephen Schleicher. If you would like to get a behind-the-scenes making of this episode, be sure to check out the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Each week I discuss my plans for the upcoming game session, and Dr. Brad Will is there to share his reactions and advice on how to be a better game master. I will warn you, though, there are spoilers galore in every installment of the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition. So, if you don't like spoilers and don't want to know what I am planning next, don't listen to these episodes. Though, I will say, if you do listen, you'll be able to see how and where the players throw a wrench into my plans, and you're also going to have greater insight into the world that's being built into this campaign. This week, patron Marshall Nesbitt joins the NPC crowd as the leader of the Italian resistance, and of course, the Great NATO gets a name drop as well. You want your name to appear as one of these NPCs in future episodes? All you need to do is become an associate producer at patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Finally, we want you to record yourself doing your best on Critical Hit and send it to us at podcast@majorspoilers.com, and your voice will join the growing chorus of fans in upcoming episodes as well. Thank you again for listening this week, and here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2023 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.